What's up? What's up? And yo, what's up? This is your boy, Kicking the Tango, and we folks are back again to Friday of the Devil's Advocates. And what's going on, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We are beginning today. It is a brisk Friday. Kind of cool out.
Kind of cool.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool.
But you know, we're in Arkansas, so it fluctuates.
Right. It'll be,
We'll be wearing tank tops and shorts and flip-flops on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, just give it a while.
We'll be wearing shorts this weekend and be wearing thermals tonight.
Yeah. That's how we do.
And there she go giggling. Hello, Mia. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm woke.
All right. You woke? Good. What's up, Paul?
Good and
Yeah,
woke.
I'm glad to know that you're woke, young lady. Good. I'm glad to know that you're woke.
I am.
And I'm going to welcome everybody. Today, we getting ready to fight. Because I told Cletus to put a block on the phone with her black butt.
Come on, Cletus.
And she can go out there and make me some tacos. So everybody, I want to go and sit here and welcome my co-host beside me. You know, he's part of the gang now. Hey Ron, what's up, baby boy? He's part of the crew now. We got him up in here.
All right.
Because I guess because he got a head shaped like a bullet. He's the big shot. And this is my boy, the attorney extraordinaire, young brother, young sharp brother. Here in Little Rock, my man, Mr. Theo Thompson, Mr. Dones Malone. How you doing there, bro?
Sir, how you doing? Good to be here as usual. How's it been with you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's okay, man. You good?
You
Now, you've been on this show long enough to be freezing on the mic. Act like you're talking to one of your potential babes on the other side. Yeah, like you're on the love zone.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't do that.
Talk to me.
Okay.
And of course, on calling us from an undisclosed location.
Yep.
And she on like BB 613.
Cashville
She say
representing for the 992,000.
That's what she say. That's what
Girl,
she
you're
say.
working with the Vanting. With the
That's what I'm talking about.
Vanting. We don't know the words.
Yes. You working today, Miss Woke?
I'm working every day.
You working every day? You're making
Every
them
day
okay.
I'm hustling.
Well, you got to,
Okay.
We are in.
I heard that.
We are in the 4th, 5th week of the shutdown.
Hey, Janice.
You know what?
What's up, Nikki G?
Starting to feel it now too.
You starting to feel it?
I'm starting to feel it.
You starting to feel it?
Yeah. Hey.
Can you feel it?
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. Let's get some type of resolution.
I think everybody can
If
feel
we
it a
can.
little bit.
Yeah, you feeling
Hey,
it,
Kay,
man?
how you doing?
I'm not personally affected by it, but I know several people who are. I actually got some business because of it, but it's a horrible situation. It's so many people that I know whose funds are being withheld, especially contractors with the federal government. I mean, it's killing them right now.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like the man with no name. Need them coins too.
We all need our coins.
Need our coins.
You know that right. You know that is right.
That's right.
Thank you, Janice.
You good over there, I'm about to call him Head Hanford is on absentee today. He getting ready to get moved. Like I said again, I'm gonna wish him Godspeed on his. Yeah. Head Sanford. Yeah.
Head
Superhead.
Sanford.
Head Sanford.
Superhead leaving us.
Yeah.
What up, Nikki?
Yeah. The sweat was boiling on his head because he's still hot about the Eagles losing. Yeah. So today is where we get ready to get to fighting.
Yes, sir.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right. Ding, ding, ding. What?
And in this corner, representing so-and-so and so-and-so.
That's right. Let's represent. Right. And today's topic will be, he gave us a dream, but we turned it into a nightmare. And I think that's basically what has happened. Isn't it nice that we were supposedly in 1968 after Dr. King's passing, we were so kumbaya as a nation, huh? Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
And he said he had a dream.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
It seemed like we have managed 50 years later turn into a nightmare.
We.
Yeah.
We.
Yeah. I'm giving all of us. Because hold on, before we got to blame the colonizer, we got to all take responsibility. Because the coons is messing it up for us too.
That's tough.
Yeah, the coons is messing it up for us too.
Okay.
Not just the coons.
No,
be real.
Oh, you're the fake woke folks.
Well,
they messing it up for us too.
You got the regular folks who think they regular.
No, really
setting us back.
Yeah.
You even got the people that are for the cause. That's just down for the cause.
Are they still down for the cause?
I mean,
not nearly enough. Everybody I'm talking to on here who always coming for me talking about woke folks, y'all so-called woke folks, every one of y'all sitting up watching the NFL. So, yeah, whatever.
See, this is the second week, Mia.
I'm just saying.
The second week.
You gotta forgive him. He's a Dallas fan. You know, there's no help for them.
Y'all come for me every week. But that's okay. I can take it.
Yeah.
Come on, Cletus. Come on.
Hold me. I got a question for Domes Malone.
Okay.
Shoot it.
Shoot it. Give me one question I got to ask you.
Go on, get it, man. Go on, get it.
What about them Cowboys, boy? What they getting ready to do this weekend?
Anyway.
What they getting ready to do? Who they playing this weekend?
Madden.
Nobody.
They playing on
Madden. Why are you giving the slave master air?
I'm just saying. I like to mess with Cowgirl fans because they talk so much mess to every team this year.
We do. We talk a lot.
And they got. I mean, this year they were extra special though, Mia. You know, at the slave master, when I had told them they better get out and play and earn his coin. As soon as they got in the first position, first place in the NFC East, as soon as they got up there and they knew they were going to the playoffs, they started sassing Pittsburgh fans. They started sassing my Giants fans. They started sassing New Orleans Saints. And hold on, and when the New Orleans Saints lost last week, guess what? Now the Cowgirl fans are popping back out the woodwork trying to sass the Saint fans on that questionable call that happened, you know, with the referee playing the Bird Box Challenge last week. So anyway,
all I know is that the Giants, you know, they are what the record indicates. Sorry, they were sorry.
Okay, so you know what? See, now we're getting ready to go commercial.
The voice is the reason why I'm not talking is because I know how to stick to a boycott.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, before I was a deacon, you know, I had to go and get delivered. I had to get delivered from my killing spree the first
when?
time.
You were delivered?
Yeah. When were you delivered?
Yeah, that was like about 3 weeks ago. But the thing about it is, see, he up here says my Giants one more time on radio. Part 2 of my killing spree going to begin right here on this radio.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so there we go. So let's go ahead today and get in and let's have some fun.
That's why the dream is a nightmare.
From the dream to the nightmare.
To the nightmare.
So let's talk about it. We've had week 4 to shut down. People are still suffering. Agent Orange is still sitting around here. He still wants his vanity project. Because you know that's what the wall is. That's a vanity project. Now, Tom, before we start disagreeing or agreeing to disagree, we all going to agree today before it's all over with.
Okay.
Ms. Mayor, do you agree that wall's a vanity project?
I do.
Okay. So do you believe it's going to be effectual?
No.
Okay. So, but he's still holding fast to it, and we have almost close to 1 million people that are sitting around here who are suffering. And see, it reminded me what I heard on Bill Maher last week. He said because there's a bigger issue here. Not even so much even about with the people are shut down, but that goes to show you how many people in this country really are not even middle class anymore. How much people in this country, if they miss one paycheck,
it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal. I mean, look, I've been blessed that if my work slows up, I have enough money saved that I can make it through for a while. But some people in this country do not even have enough money.
Most people.
Yeah, most people. Most people. If they miss one check, they back at the food bank. They are, you know, and that goes to show you something that a lot of politicians don't want to talk about: the disappearing middle class in this country, where people don't even have disposable income saved up that they can afford to miss paychecks.
Right. Right.
And, you know, I have to say again, Django, people continue to talk about the 800,000 people who are going without a paycheck, and that is horrible. You're talking about air traffic controls, people who work in the hospitals, and they're going, even though they have to go to work, they are working without pay.
Right.
Because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. SBA is closed right now.
Right. Oh,
so
Lord, let's hope they don't decide to go and poison the chicken.
Right. It's affecting people's ability to be able to get loans through SBA. Like, it has consequences far beyond the 800,000 folks. that are directly impacted if you sell something to the federal government, if you build stuff for the federal government. Right. This is a horrible situation. And yes, I do believe it's his vanity project. And yes, he said that Mexico was going to pay for a wall. And no, I don't believe he should have shut the government down for it. But here goes at this point, I'm not just blaming Trump. I'm blaming everybody that's there. Primarily.
Did we have this conversation last week? But hold on.
We did.
We did.
But I'm just saying we can't talk about the shutdown and just blame Colt 45. That's not okay with me. You need to blame everybody up there because while they having a pissing contest, people are suffering.
Right. But I think,
and if nobody else want to say that, that's fine. I'll be by myself again. But everybody is responsible. I don't care who you are, and I don't care who disagree. They're responsible.
But I think
grow up and act like adults.
But I think you bring up a good point. You said those people up there.
Right.
Those people up there have a hard time connecting to the people that I guess you would say down here, because what they see, and I think I'm making an assumption, but I think it's one that's fair. It's hard for you to relate to someone who lives paycheck to paycheck when your income structure there could be no dent in it. You're making tenfold what these individuals do, and so my deal is that it's hard for Trump or other politicians to say, you know what, people need their jobs, people need money, so let's concede or let's negotiate something. Trump's like, I rarely see these people. I don't know these individuals. I know what I want, and I'm going to get what I want. And I don't care about the consequences because I don't see these people every day. I don't see these people as I normally would, as we would normally see them. So if a person loses their job, I get it, but I don't feel it. It doesn't affect me personally.
Right.
So therefore, he's pretty much.
And people in his administration saying the same thing. Talking about
they're disconnected. Go get a loan.
Have nothing.
They're incredulous. And see, this is why I have a problem with the MAGAs. Because they voted for a guy who they thought, well, he does what he says he's going to do, blah, 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 ad nauseum. And now they're sitting around here, I never believed the leopard was going to eat my face, said the people that voted for the leopard face eating party.
This is collateral damage. He's going to get what he wants.
Right.
And we are the individuals that suffer based upon that. He's just a spoiled brat, and he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to get.
He is doing what he said he was going to do.
Right.
So
at the cost of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, that's because people don't want their interest.
Right. So you're gonna expect a rich man to understand the plight of the working man. And look, let's not get it twisted. FDR was rich. He grew up a blue blood in New York.
Yeah.
Okay. But he understood the plight of the working man, and he enacted legislation. Actually, to be honest with you, we can go and critique people's presidencies, and of course FDR has some dark points in his presidency.
Yeah.
Okay, because yes, he was for the working man, but he wasn't for the black working man. He was for the white working man. But he was probably the closest thing we had to a democratic socialist president.
Right.
Social Security, Tennessee Valley Authority, all that social, overtime, and he was working on a lot of that.
Right.
Before he passed. And I mean, you're talking about a guy that almost ended up getting 4 terms before, he actually got elected to a 4th term before he passed. And then they shut that down and said, no, we can't have this no more. No, 2 terms. That's all you get.
Okay.
He was almost a king.
But hold on. I want to see somebody over there. He's looking a little angry today.
I need to brush up on my political science, man. You just be coming with facts like, I need to go back and look at that, man. A great historian. So I'm like, dang. You and Dave.
Well, I do a little something. I do a little something
on that.
But let me tell you who else was a democratic socialist.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. was also a democratic socialist. He believed in income equality. Now, granted, and this is why we want to talk about the dream and where the dream went wrong. But let me get somebody in here, because I always shout out to him. He look a little perplexed right now. I don't know if that was some bad chicken or something.
He's recovering from his Hawaiian hangover.
Yeah, he has a dead Hawaiian. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna take him a month or 2.
Please don't get him stuck. See, look at him. He was rolling his eyes. Man, wait for it.
He's up now.
It's Uncle Super Day. How you doing there, Super Day?
I'm doing fine. Are y'all okay?
Yeah, we good.
We
hot this morning. We getting ready to start fighting in a second.
Oh, okay.
We start talking about what went on this week.
Okay.
Around the Cali, how you doing?
Anything, Dave, you would like to add?
To you talking about
I'm sure Super Dave gonna want to add like some.
No, I told you he's coming for you today, didn't I?
I know he's coming for me, but I'm okay.
Okay, she said she okay.
Mel, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
If I come into your house and steal your property, and then I bring your property back to you and ask you to pay for it, is it your fault or is it my fault?
Okay, give me that again.
I come and steal your property.
Still hungry.
I bring your property back to your house to sell it to you. And you decide to buy your property back. Is that my fault or your fault?
I think it's your fault if you stole it, unless I left my door open and welcomed you in.
Oh, okay. So what you just said.
Because if I know you to be a thief, why would I let you in my house?
Good point. But the point I'm making is that I'm holding your property hostage, and you're going to pay a fee to get your property back. That's what Donald Trump is doing with this wall.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the Democrats. It actually has everything to do with the Republicans and Mitch McConnell, because Mitch McConnell could certainly open the government if he chose to do so. So
he just won't split with Trump. He refuses to.
So they're in a corner. They don't know how to get out of this corner, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, but it certainly isn't up to the Democrats to bail them out. And unfortunately, people are suffering. I agree with you. But that pain and suffering needs to be directed to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's right. That's right. So my thing is, and let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. And I know how you've been feeling. And you're right. Trust me, I feel for people.
Oh, by the way, Northeast America, the corridor, they have shut down LaGuardia because they don't have enough agents for planes. Okay, but here's the thing. I saw a piece this morning where a young man has a daughter who has medical issues,
right?
And if she doesn't get her medical care, she's gonna die. He's a Republican. He voted for Donald Trump. They always tell you that elections have consequences.
Yep. Right.
And these are and it's sad what's going on around this country, but many of you people out there voted for Donald Trump.
Right.
True.
And this is what you're getting.
This is what you're getting.
And then some of you all didn't vote at all. So we ended up with Donald Trump. So this is what we're getting. So if we don't learn anything out of this, you should learn one thing, is that your vote really does matter. This is a classic example of that. And we need to begin to start paying attention to not just voting wantonly, but voting with a purpose. And if you begin to vote with a purpose, you could change all of this.
And you know what I find fascinating about this whole debate, this whole ordeal, is that the effect of the wall, as we mentioned, is just a vanity piece. It won't even be effective.
Right.
We're allowing people to go without income to put up a vanity piece so we can pretend that we're trying to get what we want out of this wall, which is nothing. So what we're going to simply do is we're going to put up this wall. It's going to be ineffective, and if we don't get that, people are going to lose their livelihood.
Well, understand this. This wall is, like I said, it's a 14th century answer to a 21st century solution. So here's the issue that we have with the wall. This wall, let's just be honest about it. This is his Obamacare. This is like what Obama fought for a year in the Senate and the Congress to get passed, and had to basically take it all the way up to the Supreme Court to get it. And this is and think about it. It's right here in the midpoint of his election. When Obama was fighting the healthcare movement, that's when it happened, right in the 2-year part of his first term. And this is what Trump is doing. He's like, well, if I win this, he knows he's a shoo-in in 2020, of course. if he doesn't get indicted.
How could
because it's a moral victory for him and his base, and that's what he's looking for. See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to him because it's a moral victory for him.
Okay, so that's playing politics at this point. He's playing politics with this wall. Mm-hmm. And that's what Democrats are too. They cannot, Democrats in their mind, they cannot cave on this wall. They can't do it.
No,
because if they do, then it looks like Donald Trump won. Donald Trump can't cave on wanting the wall because if it does, then it looks like he can't wield his power. In the meantime, while all of that is going on, people that I know and love are not getting paid. And these people did vote, not that it mattered because the Electoral College at the end of the day chose it. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
I got folks who are losing money on their contracts, people who are about to lose their jobs because they have contracts with the federal government. Mm-hmm. So again, while everybody is sitting up having a pissing contest, and Mitch McConnell is sitting up trying to figure out whose goes the furthest.
Right. Mm-hmm. What's up, Pedro?
Then all of these people are suffering. And so I get what you're saying, Super Dave, that it's not the Democrats' fault. I get what everybody is saying when they say, well, Trump said he wanted it. But at what cost? I mean, when are we going to say, okay, this is enough? These people, a lot of these people are suffering.
Well, then tell the Republicans to open the government. Tell them. They have the power. The Democrats do not have the majority in this. And
has anybody else called their congressman and said open the government? Oh,
I'm pretty sure people are all up in their congressman's face right now.
Well, here in Arkansas, they were praying with them the other day. So
Tim Cottonmouth?
Y'all sitting up passing memes around talking about how the soldiers are being affected, how people are being affected. The most advocacy that some folks have the power to do is to just push share and not ever pick up a phone and call, write a letter, go up to the legislature. If you're in D.C., make it happen. Why don't you start trying to get in touch with these people and say, open this government back up?
Whoa. Well, I'm feeling a lot of heat on the other side of this phone over there down here. But
I'm just saying, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
But that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're doing our part right now when we're discussing this. And hopefully some people who are not just here in Little Rock and who listen to us all over the airwaves are listening. They're going to pick up the phone. As far as Tom Cotton picking in Arkansas, yeah, right. I mean, that's a stain on Arkansas between him and Rayford.
Oh.
Those are two stains on Arkansas. But, like I always say in Arkansas, keep it classy.
By Arkansas. Arkansans. They were duly elected by Arkansans. And Arkansas is the poorest, one of the poorest states.
And people here are inbred. And they sleep with their cousins.
I didn't say that.
Hold on. And you expect
New Yorker?
And I'm a New Yorker. And look, I'm gonna tell you something now. New York City doesn't claim Northern New York. Let's just be real about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm telling you is if people don't like their elected officials, then get up and get them out of office.
No, because you see,
you don't like what you're dealing with.
This is the problem,
and get them out of office.
But this is the problem.
Yet, why don't you run?
White supremacist mindset will not do that because they do not care how much they get. It's the prime adage of what LBJ had said. LBJ said, if you can convince the lowest white man.
That he's higher.
Well, the lowest. That what is it? That black people
are
higher than them.
Than the highest black man.
Right.
Is that what you're about to say?
Right. Then you can pick their pocket, and that's the problem with a lot of these colonizers. Going to put these colonizers on blast about it. They don't care. They want white faces to represent them. So what they're saying is, I'll take a little pain. I'll take a little cut in the benefits. I'll take that.
That's an excellent point.
I'll take that as long as I can get a white face to represent me. That's what they care about.
Because at the end of the day, that wall represents hate. Nothing more, nothing less. So I got to have that wall up because it represents my base.
I'm just curious as to what the wall represented when the Democrats put it up a couple of years back. Did it represent hate then too?
No, but the point of the matter, it was representing it was a part of an immigration reform package. Now, don't get it twisted. There are walls up on the southern border. Let's just be real. There are walls up on. Don't think that this wall is going to be the first wall.
Are y'all okay with the wall if it's part of a broader immigration package?
No, but the wall that he wants is a extensive, comprehensive wall.
Right.
He wants a wall basically that's a big, gigantic barrier.
See, that's the disconnect for me because Obama did it. It's been done before. They put up a wall or a barrier or whatever before, and I don't recall that much pushback about it.
Well,
this is the first I heard of don't build a wall, don't build a wall. I'm not saying whether we should have a wall or not. I'm not saying that the wall is a good thing. I'm not saying any of that. My question is,
wait a minute,
why
but that was
is
Obama?
it a bigger deal right now than it was when
Obama that was Obama? Those walls have been up for decades. Some of those walls have been up since back in the Reagan era.
Why is it a problem today? Is my question. If it wasn't a problem in 2006, it wasn't a problem in 2013. My math could be wrong. Super Dave, you are much better at telling me what dates and when and what happened.
That's right.
My overarching question is, when Democrats passed a bill to have a wall before, why was it not a sign of hatred and bigotry then? But it is now. Is it because a bigot is saying it? That's my question.
Well, besides the fact a bigot is saying it.
Because a bigot is pushing it, then it's a bigot wall now.
Well, there you go.
Mia, there's never been a plan to build a wall from border to border.
No.
By the Democrats.
Right. And I know it wasn't a border to border wall. I'm just saying a wall. Build some type of wall.
Well, the difference is that's what Trump wants to do. There are certain areas on the border that require a wall.
Right.
But
there are problem spots, right?
But as far as building a wall from the coast of California through Texas to the Gulf Coast, down to Rio Grande, that's what Trump wants.
That's basically a prison.
All right.
So there's a huge difference in that.
Well, why aren't we building a wall through Canada? Why not? I'm just saying. Let's just be honest.
Here's the bottom line.
We know it's about keeping the brown people out. I ain't arguing that.
Well, but see, that's what people ought to be talking about,
right?
And I tell you what, let me just play this piece, and this is a piece that I was actually going to play on the show, but just listen to this for a moment. It's about 60 seconds, okay? Because it's something that I think we all need to pay attention to, and that's what this is really all about.
Okay, all right.
Been advancing the cause of white women ever since the women's movement. The women's movement was a movement for white women. They might as well have been wearing placards that said black women need not apply. And that was only allowed to happen is because we wanted to stop the civil rights movement. And white men went along with that in order to put a stop to the civil rights movement. As long as we're talking about the rights of white women, then we don't have to talk about the rights of people of other colors. As far as I'm concerned, that's what the women's movement was about. Now there's going to be another women's movement. You need to realize this. If you haven't read Ben Wattenberg's book, The Birth of Earth, you need to realize that in this country right now, we've got a whole lot of white folks who are scared to death because they know that within 30 years, white people will have lost their numerical majority in the United States of America. And if you haven't read that book, in which he says the biggest problem confronting this country today is there are too few white babies being born in this country. If we don't solve this problem and solve it quickly, white people will lose their numerical majority, and this will no longer be a white.
That's what the wall is all about, folks.
Right, pretty much.
Is them losing their numerical majority.
Right.
And that's what this is all about. So any other conversation related to this is moot.
Right, we know that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what black people ought to be talking about is the coming majority or minority of white people. That's where the rise of Donald Trump came from. In fact, that's where the rise of the Tea Party came from.
Right.
In fact, that's where the rise of Lee Atwater and the Southern Strategy came from.
Right.
They knew this back in the 60s. They knew it back in the 60s. We, as black people, just were not paying attention.
We were too caught up with what we had going on.
So what I'm saying to you, stop chasing these red herrings and understand what the meaning is.
Right.
And the meaning is to keep as many, because you made the point. Why isn't there a wall on Canada? Right. There are more drugs, there are more illegal immigrants come from the northern border and the ports of call than it does Mexico. Right. In fact, Mia, you made a point, under Obama, the immigration over the southern border dropped precipitously.
Yep.
Okay.
They call him the deporter in chief.
Exactly. So the argument that you need a wall on the southern border, based on what we've seen over the last few years, makes no sense. This is about bigotry and racism.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. Pure and simple.
Period.
So
What's up, Dre? Talking about this wall and this nightmare today. I'm up here on Facebook. That's right. You heard that, Miss Mia. Miss Woke, you heard it. You heard it.
You heard it.
You heard it.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're going to get you again.
Okay.
Yeah, you stand by. Don't think. We got some more part here for you.
I'm here.
Check part 2 here.
I hope my live didn't end.
No, I know. This is Facebook. Colt 45. He up here fooling with us today.
By the way, the lady who was speaking was Jane Elliott.
Yes.
She's been on this show. Her daughter has been on Black Focus. You all need to make sure you go out and pay attention to what she's talking about.
I put her video in the room a week ago. I put her video in the room a week ago. So let's talk about what happened in, what was it, in North Dakota? Was that where it happened with the Red Hats and the Native American?
That was in D.C.
Oh, was that in D.C.? Oh, Lord. That's what I wondered, because I was trying to figure out how the Black Israelites got there. I'm like, you didn't hear it? It's been all over the media. And don't get me wrong, the media just beat it to death. And, okay. This is again. A group of Catholic high school students, okay, went to visit, I believe it was a memorial or something. And, of course, the Black Israelites were out there. Boy, look. Good luck trying to get in an argument with them. They were out there protesting, and usually just doing their own forum, which they usually are good at doing. They get to their woke moments, and the school kids went past them. Now, my understanding of the facts, and these are the facts, is that the school stopped somewhere before they got to the exhibit and decided to go buy them some red hats. And you know what they put on red hats, don't you? Make America white again. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant great again. So as they were going to the memorial event or whatever on the field trip, the Black Israelites started in on them. Okay. Started in on the young colonizers. So, and this is where I get kind of foggy with it, because you know me, I saw where you said watch the whole video and listen to the whole story. I actually went on that. Here's the problem I have. Why did one of those boys go and ask their teacher to go and ask them could they confront the Black Israelites? And then sat around here, came and put their red hat on, and then basically started chanting against the Black Israelites. Now, this Native American, I believe his name is Nathan, is it Phillips is his last name? Came in and tried to squash it. Okay? Came in and tried to squash it by trying to separate the two, because I guess it was getting out a little rowdy and becoming a public spectacle. So the boys decided, hey, we're going to get up in here. We're going to get up in his face. I'm going to put my red hat and I'm going to stand up in front of him defiantly smirking. He didn't confront the boy. He was just beating his drum. He was just basically trying to break it up. And, you know, this is what I'm talking about. And, of course, it was caught on video and the media ran with it. Of course, they didn't really catch the Black Israelites, but I can already imagine. I was listening to what supposedly one of the witnesses said they were saying, and, boy, look. But here's the problem. This is what I'm talking about. Now, of course, naturally, he's been on TV and said he didn't apologize and he wasn't meaning anything by it. And, you know, I guess he realized that when he got caught all on CNN looking idiotic and looking racist.
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. Then all of a sudden they want to get contrite. So hold on, man. So, you know, so this week, Miss Alyssa Milano, who saw the video, somebody said they over her. I'm not gonna mention no names, but their name is Woke.
Yep, I said it.
Said that they was over, you know, she made the comment that red hats on the new white hoods. Now, explain yourself, young lady. Explain yourself.
You want me to explain why I'm over Alyssa Milano? Okay, number one, Super Dave just played a video where he said that the feminism movement basically came to usurp the civil rights movement. So here we are again, 2019, with Alyssa Milano out there basically pushing Me Too. That's her main gig. She wants to kick out the co-founder of the Women's March because she has gone to a Minister Farrakhan rally and spoke highly of Minister Farrakhan. And now all of a sudden we're going to hold her in high regard as the authority of what is the equivalent of a hood, of a white hood. And everybody is sharing what she had to say. That's something we should be proud of. Well, let me tell you something. As somebody who has
let me tell you something. She wiggled her head on that.
Somebody with a white hood, people with the Make America Great Again hat is not the equivalent of a white hood. If you wondering where the white hood went, maybe you need to look at the police uniforms and the judge robes.
You know they wear red hats, don't you?
You're worried about the wrong thing if you worried about who got on a red MAGA hat. Have you seen anybody
that head bucking right
in
now
a power position
that head
with
bucking.
a red hat on? Anybody other than 45? Have you seen any? And you know why that is?
Why?
Because they move in silence.
That's true.
You talking about these noisy idiots? I'm not worried about them. They ain't even gonna jump.
Right.
But we're sitting up talking about some children with a red hat on. Meanwhile, we got all of this other stuff that really affects black people, and we talking about that. And we listening to this feminist, Alyssa Milano, who don't give two farts about us anyway. And I know she don't. She probably thinks she does. She doesn't. Because if she has a problem with Minister Farrakhan, she got a problem with me.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Period.
So hold on, calm down. Calm down. We'll have to go and send you some grenades to chew on. So here's the issue. My thing is, and listen, I love Minister Farrakhan's teachings, Muhammad's teachings, but my question is, do you don't think that sometimes that Minister Farrakhan has been on the wrong side of history by some of the stuff that he said? Some of his anti-Semitic comments he said?
I do, but that don't make me like you any less.
Well, my issue is I don't think it's necessarily the issue of whether or not that people should agree or necessarily disagree. Look, here's the thing. I think when you get people that are quite outspoken and
what pisses me off, Django, listen, they always want us to disavow somebody. They wanted Barack Obama to disavow the preacher he was associated with. Meanwhile, we got old boy in Congress that they just censured. And I don't know why they decided to just now censure him for all of the foolishness he's been saying over the last 20 or 30 years. They're never asked to disavow. And when Trump was asked to disavow David Duke, he still hadn't. Okay. Yet we supposed to disavow somebody because they done hurt somebody's feelings, or they came for him, or they said something that we don't necessarily agree with. We can't just say, well, you know what? I don't agree with him on that. But you want me to disavow him, yet you don't disavow these bigots that you cuddle up with every day of the week? Miss me with that.
Well, does Alyssa Milano cuddle up with bigots? Because
No.
because see, here's my issue. I agree with her that the red hat is new. See, look, let's just be real about it. You have two types of bigots. You have Jim Crow and you have James Crow Jr. Okay? You got the backwards people, okay, that I call the hillbillies, the cousin sleepers, the people you see down in the deep south, the buck-toothed, shotgun in the back window, who are proud to be Klan members.
Okay.
Who still sit out here and hold rallies and put the white hoods on.
Who don't wear the red hat like
the white hoods are
well, they wear the red hat part-time. Okay.
No, those are people that say, look, I got my hood, I wear it in the daytime and nighttime.
Right. But those are people that don't mind letting you know
absolutely.
how they feel about you, how they feel about the wall,
White
how
power.
they feel about black people, this, that, and the other. And then you have James Crow Jr. Those are the people that are the hidden cops. Those are the white supremacists that are the ex-military who went basically in the military so they can learn how to kill people, particularly people of color. That's why they wanted to go overseas. Okay, to brown countries. They come back here, and then the first thing they do when they got the military, they want to become a policeman.
Okay.
Instead of getting, look, there's nothing wrong with a police officer career as a career, but that's what they came back here to do, to become a cop, because they want to pacify. They believe in what is called urban pacification. Okay, so we're talking about all of these people who do these things, and they're James Crow because they don't go out and advertise. Of course, you can't embarrass the police department by showing people that you have openly racist views, like they did back when Obama was president. The cops in Florida that had ties directly to the KKK and white supremacist groups. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Cassandra, how you doing, love? Hey, Sharita. And you have to look at this stuff. You have to look at this stuff. So when and here's the problem, and I've said this 1,000 times in my lifetime: racism and bigotry is not ingrained; it is taught. Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. It is taught. Did you see the picture they floated around at their boys' high school with the students in blackface?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hold on. So that boy wasn't born like that. Infants don't know how to differentiate. Excuse me. I need some more coffee this morning. They don't know how to differentiate between a black baby and a white baby. You put a black baby and a white baby newborn together, they will hug each other because they don't see color.
Right.
They are poisoned with that foolishness by their parents and their environment. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. So when the mother comes up and defends him, well, that tells me where he learned it from.
Right.
Okay? That tells me where he learned it from. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my thing about it is, and we have to understand this, and that's why this issue is, well, people say, well, racism has been here for the beginning of time. Yes, because people pass it down. You know, we and today's point, when we talk about the country is going to become more brown, yes, that's true. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and I hear so much on social media about people saying, well, you know, them people from back in the civil rights era, they're dying off. Mm-hmm. No. The only people,
they're not.
No. Mm-hmm. The only people are dying
like gremlins.
But see, hold on. But that's the point. The only people that are dying off are the old open bigots. They used to come out here and burn down churches. Mm-hmm. They're raising a whole new group of bigots, youngsters coming to take their place. Mm-hmm. So don't think just because this country becomes browner that it's going to stop.
And I agree with that.
Because the right has a whole new...
apartheid worked is because it wasn't because it was not enough brown people. It was because it's not enough brown people with power. Mm-hmm. And so the power structure hasn't changed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The population may have, but the power hadn't.
Right.
You know what? I even recall, you know, as my mom, you know, teaching me certain things of growing up, you know what I'm saying, and getting awards or accomplishments saying, look, I was the only black person that got this job, or it's like so many white people that work with me and I work with them, like there was some type of honor or recognition.
Right.
That was passed down, you know, thought process to me or what and my brother and I'm sure it happened in other families as well. Mm-hmm. You know, and you didn't know any better, but the deal is that hatred and prejudice is taught, it's learned, it's you're not grown, you don't come with those traits in you. But I find it fascinating that, you know, we're almost taught in African American community, at least, you know, to some point, you know, generations ago, that you are inferior.
Right.
Indirectly.
Right.
Because you would always say, look, you would compare yourself to the white male or female and say, you're working with them. You should feel good about yourself.
Right.
As opposed to, you know, you're with the rest of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, you haven't accomplished anything.
Right.
That was taught in our household.
Right.
So, you know, I can only imagine what's being taught in our white male.
I'm not sure that was taught in my household, but I hear you.
In the South.
What do you teach in your household?
It was. It was.
What you say? Asking me what am I teaching?
Yeah. What do you? No. I'm
not saying what you're teaching. For me, I'm teaching.
Well, I want to know what you're teaching. What they learn at home.
My daughter, no.
What they learn at home. Well, I don't want to know what you're teaching.
Oh, what I'm teaching?
Yeah, what you teaching?
I'm teaching them to buzz heads and take names.
Okay. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's me. I'm teaching you punch a colonizer in the mouth, punch a Nazi in his mouth. That's what I'm teaching.
Right.
I'm sorry. I done got older. I done got away from. But see, look. Let's just be real when we talk about the dream. Mm-hmm. See, he was the fundamental mistake of where Martin Luther King got it wrong, Mahatma Gandhi got it wrong, and even Barack Obama got it wrong.
Okay.
They wanted integration into society, and here's again, without equality. That's why he went back and made the comment about the burning house. Because what he realizes, before we can sit around here and talk about integrating into society, we have to be equal. You cannot, because that's what, but think about it, man, because that's what happened in South Africa. The South Africans were the majority, but they had no power. They had no economic power. They had no cultural power because the minority was still in power. They had the political power. They had the economic means and the economic power.
So now you're integrating and you're coming in
as a second-class citizen. That's what happened. And that's what Martin Luther King realized at the end of his life.
Again, and I've said it before, you have to look at the power structure, and when you're asking for equality, we can't ever have equal footing unless you admit that we didn't start with equal footing.
Right.
So there has to be an equity argument there. things are not equitable. You got to get to equitable before you can get to equal.
Right. Right. And that's the problem. And see, look, let's just be real. That's why you see all the comments telling black folks to Brexit and all these little coons wearing these little red hats. You know, when I see a black person wearing a red hat, I just want to punch him in the mouth.
Well, don't do that.
Because that's
but if you do,
then I'm going to have to hire you to go.
Then just call me.
I'm going to have to call Theo again. Get me out of here. Look, I'm down at the county.
What did you do?
They try to take me, but I won't go.
It was the hat.
Yeah, it was the hat. But that's my point. You got these black brothers running around here with these red hats, and when I look at them, the first thing, my name's Django. When I see them, I'm thinking Steven. That nigga ain't looking for no man dingoes. That's what I hear. That's what I see.
It's still not the same.
Oh Lord, let me help me kill this.
I don't care what you say. It's not the same as a white hood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree with that.
You never convince me of that. You will never.
A white hood is a white hood.
You won't nobody who know you weak. Nobody is gonna convince
red
me.
Red hat is a white hood. It's a soft white hood.
In your mind.
It's a soft white hood.
In your mind.
That's right. In
when
my mind.
See one of them red hats come and lynch you, burn you.
Yeah, they'll do that. You think they won't?
Go peanuts off. Then you tell me it's the same as a white hood.
Let me tell you something. A white hood ain't gonna come lynch you. Not today. Not openly. They won't.
Why you think they won't?
Well, they will. It just would be.
Yeah, they'll lynch you openly if you on a dark road like they did Bird down in Texas. And try to be your friend, but I guarantee you, those guys who lynched Bird, who are now in prison, will probably if you could ask them in prison, ask them who they support, they will say Donald Trump. I can guarantee you.
I can't take her. I can't.
Well, I can take it. I'm punching him in the mouth.
Punch him in the mouth.
You know the guy punched in the mouth from North Arkansas was a red hat.
What?
Yeah, you do know that, right?
What?
You didn't like did you see the picture where my fist just kind of hit him right? And I mean, these new cameras, they so nice. You know, he came in through that bid my car. This is up in Harrison.
Okay.
You didn't see the picture.
What was
this was like a year ago.
Okay.
Okay, he tried to clown me up in Harrison because I have a legal analyst that we were up there doing a case together. Mm-hmm. Okay. We had a fraud case that we had to go up and do, and it was up in Harrison. Mm-hmm. So we up there, and she's white. And don't get me wrong, she's LGBT, so she's kind of studdish. Mm-hmm. But we up there, we had lunch. She's studdish, but she's good people. She's cool people, and she used to tell me about how she used to hate working in Arkansas because how the people.
That's like you got a black friend.
Yeah, but no, she wasn't getting none of
this.
this.
I got a black friend.
No, Becky wasn't getting none of this. Hey Lisa, Becky wasn't getting none of this. But hell. But she was up there, and she used to complain to me about how she hated working in Arkansas, how people look at her different, right?
Okay.
So naturally, old colonizer, him and his friends up there looking at me. So they want to sit around here, and he got this red hat on. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. So they looking at us, and I kind of look out the side like, what? Because he sees me with a white woman. He doesn't care that she's LGBT, and in the black guys, but he sees that. Hey, Randall. And he like, oh, so we go outside. So we would get ready to leave. She drove her Jeep. I drove my car. Mm-hmm. And he come out with his boy trying to giggle and laugh and be loud, making hoot noise. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, y'all okay? She felt uncomfortable. She looks at me. So she says, Uni, don't do it. Hey, Tanya, how you doing, love? She comes up and she looks at me and it's like, don't do it. So the guys sitting around here had beer in their pickup. Wow, these guys always seem to drive pickups, don't they? And sat around here and threw a beer, Stag beer on top of it, which is an insult to my car. When you hit my car with Stag beer. So naturally, so she's filming this because she figured we're going to have to call the cops. So she wanted to film them harassing us or saying out. So naturally, Django don't play that.
Did they have on some MAGA hats?
Yep. The one I hit had the MAGA hat on. The rest of them were bubbles. They had on camouflage.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with camouflage.
So when he hit my car, I go boom. I'm like, what the? And I see this beer rolling. I'm like, oh, so I get up out the car. I'm like, yep, here we go.
What did they think when you, with all your 6'5" inches, jumped up out of the car? But you know what? I have to really take hats off to LG. LG, these cameras, they so crystal clear. She's filming it. So he run up to me and I said, hey, man, you hit my car with that beer. Oh, well, what you doing up here? Oh, but now that you shouldn't have said. You ain't from around
here. He said, you need to get your jungle swinging. I'm like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, here comes the fist. Before he got that out of him. The fist and see these cameras, they're good at catching stuff in slow motion with his face just more from the power of the blow. I think I knocked Jesus, Jefferson Davis, and Robert E. Lee out.
You know what?
And she caught it on film. She caught the punch on film.
Really?
Yes, I got to post it on Facebook because I put it all. You didn't see the picture.
I didn't see it.
We share that. We share it.
Put it out there again.
So he's
on my live. Everybody want to see the video.
Everybody.
Okay, all right then. Okay, I kept posted it. Well,
put it out there.
So the cops come about 3 minutes later. He sleep. Okay,
yeah.
So the cops
you
come.
put him to sleep.
Yeah, I put him. Oh,
night quitter.
Yeah, it was one night quitter. It was one quitter.
One hit a quitter.
One hit a quitter. He was out. Sleep.
Hey, mommy.
So the cops come. So naturally, I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling my homegirl, like, get ready to bail me out. We up here in Harrison.
Yeah.
Well, Harrison trying to shake their notion of being a Klan spot.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the cops, they were cool.
That.
Yeah, they were cool. They like, oh, he's a troublemaker. What happened? He knocked him out, took him to jail.
Okay.
If you want to file any charges, Mr. Bourne, you let us know. Yeah, he's a yeah. We know his family. He's a troublemaker. They out there in the woods with those people.
That's what they calling them now, troublemakers.
Troublemakers.
Yeah. The cops knew him. He had been, he wasn't born about 28, 29. But I knocked Jesus, like I said, Robert E. Lee, Southern Bubba, Jefferson Davis, David Duke. I knocked all of that out of him. You see the spirit leave his body as he gets the punch.
You knocked the Holy
Because
Ghost
I am not my great grandfather. I will knock you. I will knock you out. I can't say it on Christian radio. I will knock you out.
My ancestors, I came from the past to ask y'all.
And trust me, I had plenty of bail money.
My ancestors.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. And I had plenty of bail money in my bank. So I will knock you out.
You was looking for
nicely.
This.
Yes.
You was looking for this moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this is the moment that we strive for.
Well, you couldn't set this up any.
Because I'm that 1 in 10,000 that you come to me the wrong place. I will knock you. I will knock you out.
You probably had prayers about this maybe like weeks or months ago before this even happened.
Yes.
Like, you know what? I just need to hit someone one good time.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally revealed itself.
Yeah. When you saw the spirits leave him.
My son Kobe ever had a knockdown, drag out fight was on the school bus when this little boy spit on him and called him an N-word.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And see, this is what I'm talking about.
And he beat the bricks off of him. And then his black principal and horse man tried to suspend my baby for fighting. And she said that he should have said, no, don't do that. That's what Kobe was supposed to say. And so I asked her, well, let's try it out. Let me see if I can spit in your face.
No, get a hawker. No, you don't just spit on him. You got to get a hawker. You got to get that down from in the. It got to be an oily fat. You got to get it down up in your chest. Spit on him and make it hang off and drip down.
Right.
He lucky the baby's still alive.
That's what she stood there and told me. He was supposed to say, "Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that."
No. When you standing up over him and his teeth are on the floor, then you say, "No, you don't do that."
This is why you don't do that. That's what he was supposed to say. As he had his foot in his chest, he was supposed to say, "This is why you don't do that."
I bet you that boy is part of the civil rights movement now.
I think he learned that day.
He learned.
I don't think we had no more problems.
No, he gonna learn today.
Let me understand your
How'd you grow
side.
up, son? I grew up when I got my with my black.
Right on the school bus.
Is that your phone, Mia? You got pizza delivery?
It's not.
Or is that us? That's us. Hold on, Mia. I think we
just
got a phone.
FYI, Django,
What?
that was not anybody with a MAGA hat on. That was somebody.
Oh, he gonna grow up to wear
from
one,
on the
but I
other
bet he's
side
not
of
gonna wear it now.
You hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I think we got a phone call, though. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, hello. This is Knock 'em Out Radio. How can I help you?
I'm trying to reach Tromano's Pizza, home of Donald Trump's Make America Great special.
Well, that ain't nothing but a whole bunch of orange cheese, a bunch of lard, and a little pickle.
That Django fella?
Yes. How you
My
doing?
name's the Candy Man.
Oh, okay.
We don't take college to you colors.
Oh, really? Y'all don't like us coloreds, huh?
Especially you color with that fancy stuff in your hair trying to make it like a white man's curl.
Look at that's Juices and Berries side.
ISO plus Negro. You're an ISO plus Negro.
That's an ISO plus. That Juices and Berries. That's that good stuff.
Let yourself.
Well, yes, sir. How can I help you today?
I'm wondering y'all play some good wholesome Christian music like George Strait or Bonnie Raitt. What y'all waiting on up there at the radio station y'all got?
No, Mr. Colonizer, sir. We don't play Bonnie Raitt and what do you say, George? Who?
And what about the little sleepy little yellow girl y'all got? She still there too?
Oh, she's on here. I think he talking about you, Miss Woke.
He said what?
He talking about you. He said he's looking for the little sleepy yellow girl.
I'm not yellow.
Like she almost made a pure Aryan blood, but somebody got in the bloodline and made
Wanna come for me? I will come through this phone.
Oh,
come
my
on,
goodness.
Cletus.
I have you know that the Honorable David Duke will ensure that I'll be safe and protected.
White power!
Don't you question my blackness.
You can be the first yellow Klansman if you act right, girl. We'll do something for you.
Man, Jago.
Oh, my
Don't add me. That's your boy. Don't come up here looking at me.
Jago, you better get
The
it.
first yellow
Well,
Klansman.
look here. I got a question. I know you colors about to get y'all income tax checks after this freeze over with. Y'all can buy cars and rims and all those good chains and coats and stuff next summer.
And rims. You know, we colors. We love that.
Come on down to Randy's Auto. We can get you in a whip fast and you can spend your check on a tip.
Oh, my goodness.
What's his name? Randy's Auto. Randy's
Auto.
Randy's Auto is a loan. We'll give you a loan at a low 23.7% interest rate. So you come on down to Randy's. We treat colors white.
23.77.
That's a hell of an interest,
Man.
boy.
Hey, y'all still got that Republican colored up there on the radio that does a little black awareness show too. He's up there too.
Oh my goodness. Sound you talking about Super Dave, Black Republican.
Republican, Democrat, Christian atheist boy y'all got up there.
Oh my Lord. Democrat.
Super Day?
Look behind you now. Look behind you. I bet I just scared the mess out of you.
I got a friend he reminds me of named Ruckus. Real good fella. Real good fella.
Real good fella.
Yeah, he's some of y'all's uncle, I believe.
So what would you like to contribute to the dream? Because we running out of time, so I'm gonna let you go and say your piece that you're assassins, but lucky you where you at, so we don't have to do nothing to you. So what would you like to contribute to the dream?
You want to know where I'm at, mister? I can tell you where it's at.
Well, where you at?
I'm down here at Randy's Auto.
Randy's Autos.
Randy's Autos.
And do I have anything to contribute to the dream? I sure do. Some narcolepsy.
The narcolepsy? Okay. Well, what would you like to contribute before we get ready to go? Because we get ready to sign. Anything you want to contribute to the dream this week?
I want to say that I love it when black people come to Randy's Autos because we'll treat you white.
Get this fool off my phone.
23.77%.
23. Remember, 20. Let me write that down.
That is.
But y'all looking for a deal. You want to go to the Colonizers, Randy's Autos. He will give you a good 23.7. What was it? 20? What was the 23.7?
Hey, what are your vehicle selections? What kind of vehicles you got for us?
A Chevette.
A Chevette.
The Hummer 1, 2, and 3.
Boy, look, boy. I tell you, every time we do this show, is always a character
Or
on.
Dodge Dart.
Dodge Dart.
Well, thank you, sir. That's our time for now. We want to thank you for calling. Please call. Well, please don't call us in again whenever you get a chance. Okay. Woo, boy. I tell y'all, it's always something. Great show today, fellas.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen.
You go.
That's all right, man. We ain't gonna say that. Dude, we don't always have to pretend I'm right. Just assume it from now on. Okay. For those of y'all, we want to thank y'all. We will be back again next week, hopefully with Head Sanford to be here. We're gonna try to sit us in another female co-host next week. They're gonna help me out because she's kind of
Whether
beat up.
I gotta stand by alone or stand with a group, I'm cool with
Oh,
it.
really? Well, we're gonna
I'm cool
find
with
out.
It doesn't matter to
She
me.
ready. She represents Cashville.
But we're gonna find out. So, again, we want to thank you guys for joining. And don't forget, look, we got our anniversary show coming up. It'll be 4 years. 4.
Okay.
It'll be 4 years for us. 4. That's 3. It'll be 4 years for us coming up. And I want to thank Theo Don't Belong for helping us out. I want to thank you, Ms. Mia, Ms. Woke, and, of course, Super Dave. He's getting ready to start up on his Black Focus. Yeah, and we want to thank you guys. We'll see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. And don't forget, if you can't stand the heat, punch a colonizer in the mouth. Goodbye, folks.